Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking, our Capnclydes MTG. On this glorious Sunday evening, Obeka has bore her mohawk head to cause card spikes throughout the environment. So, with that said, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. We just broke 800. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you. Try and get to 1,000, start giving some stuff away. And links in the description. I just put all my fetch lands from Modern Horizons 2 online. Get them while they're hot, or technically it's kind of cold here. But anyway, supports the channel, and I do appreciate it. Now, with that said, let's get into the debacle that is Obeka. I don't even rhyme. Why did I even try that? Anyway, so what Obeka are we talking about? We're talking about this Obeka, the Splitter of Time. So this preview from Outlaws of Thunder Junction is a 2/5 with Menace, as you can see. The big part here for this character, though, it's red, black, blue, and 1. But the big thing is whenever she deals combat damage to a player, you get that many additional upkeep steps after this phase. And some people first saw this and thought, wow, that's kind of cool, not relevant. Other people saw this and thought, oh my god, I'm going to ruin somebody's day. And that's exactly the two directions that we have went. As you can see, Obeka currently is only sporting about a $6 to $7 price tag. It was selling for around $5, but I think once people started figuring out how good she was, the price kind of went up. You can see the foil is touting almost $30. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And I'm here to tell you why. There's lots of things going on that Obeka can do that's going to make Commander really fun for one person and miserable for everyone else. Just going to put that out there. So, the big deal, though, that everybody's talking about is the one card that Obeka has caused a price spike with, which has not seen a reprint in a long time, and honestly, doesn't even see play. I didn't know this thing existed, but apparently, it's this card. Dark Steel Reactor. So, 4 colorless artifact, it's indestructible. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on the reactor. When it has 20 or more charge counters on it, you just win the game. Just, ta-da, mission accomplished. I have successfully won. So as you can see down here, even before the revelation of what Obeka could do with this card came out, the card was pretty well flat and hasn't had a whole lot of price spike. But people are suggesting the price spike's around 100%, but I don't know about that. But what I will tell you is the card has spiked quite a bit. You can see here it's probably around $20 or $10, give or take, maybe a little lower. It's where it's at right there. It's probably more closer to 10. You can see clear spiking of the foil, which if I knew this was going to happen, I would have bought right here. Probably only a couple bucks, don't really matter. But as you can see, the price of this card has went up. But here's the thing that people aren't getting. This is heavily played. $10 for shipping. So this is $17 to $18 for this card. Down here, you see light played for $23. Market price for normal is $12. We know that's wrong. Foil, $28, $22. You can see here the listed median price right now, $25 and $45. This card has exploded since Obeka came out, and here's why. If you manage to get Obeka to hit your opponent, or well, a opponent, you get that many extra upkeeps. It says so right here. And that's only 2. But 2 is a lot, especially if you have the ability to pump this creature. So let's say you giant growth it. I know it's green. If I can roll with it, okay? But let's say you pump this creature, the monstrous one that has +2/+0, put a +1/+1 counter on it from Wilds of Eldraine. There, we'll do that. It's red, right? Okay, so anyway, you get +3 to the front. All I fucking care about. Also, it gives it trample. Very important, because now you got to block all of it, or you're going to connect and get something. Let's say you don't connect. Let's say you connect with all of it. That'd be 5 damage. That's 5 extra upkeeps. What does that mean? Well, it means that you're going to put 5 counters on this bad boy, and you're then only 15 counters away from winning. And if Obeka is kicking your opponents in the crotch every turn, this is going to go off very, very quickly. Very quickly. Especially if you're pumping her. So you're getting 3 to 4 upkeeps a turn, but let's just say you only get 2 upkeeps with a return, or 2 damage with a return. That's 2 upkeeps, plus your natural upkeep is 3. So in 5 turns, naturally, you'll have 5 counters. And in 5 turns, if you hit your opponent 5 times with Obeka, that is 10 more counters, putting you at 15. So in essence, 6 or 7 turns with nothing going on but you laying the reactor and punching somebody in the face with her will win you the game. Now, there's also plenty of other cards that Obeka can really brutalize and manipulate and just break when it comes to upkeep effects. Things on suspend, sagas, you name it. There are tons of things that she can help just go hog wild for you by giving you extra upkeeps. There's some cards that say draw on upkeep. Hello. I'll just take some extra upkeeps and just draw a bunch of cards because that's how I want to roll. So tons of ways to do that. Now, with that being said, like I mentioned, you're paying $17 for heavily played. So I went and I looked at the list. The only near mint one in the list, even within a proper price range, $32 basically for a near mint dark steel. But that's only one. The other one's listed at $80. So, and there's only, I think, 2 of them. So this is the only one reasonable. And I'm here to tell you, someone's going to buy this probably before this even goes live because people don't know how to spend money. But anyway, fear not, you don't have to use heavily played. Heavily played is $17, but as you can see here, around $24, which is, $7 more. There's plenty of light played, and when I say plenty, I mean a whopping 4, 5, 6, 7, a whopping 8 of them on TCG Player currently, but I'm sure there's more out there, and they will be coming to market. So, this one's a foil. Why is that in there? Anyway, but yeah, so you might want to go check it out as soon as this video's over. Or hell, you might even want to pause it, come back later after you went and bought one if this is something you're into. But before you do that, I'm here to also tell you there's a few other cards that you could use in place of this that might be a little cheaper in your price range that haven't spiked yet that no one's noticed. One of those cards, which is actually a good card in general, is this, Revel in Riches. This one also says, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, create a colorless treasure token, yada yada. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 10 or more treasures, you win the game. This will be nice, not only because of what it does, but also if you manage to kill your opponent or do something during your upkeep to get to 10 treasures, once you hit them with Obeka, you now get an upkeep, which can trigger Revel in Riches, which can trigger your win. And that's pretty cool, not going to lie. But still, as you can tell, this card is volatile to say the least, but still on a steady climb and sitting around $13. But fear not, there's yet another one actually in your price range, even for you pauper players who don't like to spend money on cards. We have Mechatronic Production. I took a tag of all of them. This is pre-release cards, so you can ignore this one. It's fine. But the rest of them, you're looking at $1 or so. Some of the oldest ones, or newer ones technically from Fallout or Karloff Manor, you can get for like 35 cents to $1. Pretty cheap. I'm not going to lie. And it basically says, at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to make a thing. And this thing is a copy of XYZ thing. Well, here, let me look it up real quick just to make sure I tell you the exact wording. So you enchant an artifact you control. Then it says at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a token that's a copy of the enchanted artifact. Then if you control 8 or more artifacts, you win with the same name as this one, you win the game. So basically, you lay your Obeka. Next turn, you Mechatronic Production one of your artifacts, whatever you want it to be. I could honestly care less. And then you swing in with Obeka. If you hit for 2, you get 2 more upkeeps, meaning you get to create 2 more tokens of that artifact. Now, that's not going to win you the game right off the bat, but depending on what kind of artifact that you're copying, that could be devastating. Solum Simulacrum? Yeah, let's put 2 of those into play and get 2 lands out of my decks. And then my opponent has to kill them so that it doesn't Mechanize Production into the win, so forth and so on. But anyway, point being, with this only needing 8 and you already having 1 in play, you could very well in 2 or 3 turns set this one off for a game win just by using the upkeeps and your natural upkeeps from Obeka to actually produce more things. And if you don't win the game, if you're copying artifacts, it better be a damn good one. You better not be putting this thing on a treasure or something silly. But hey, I mean, I've seen worse. And actually, treasure is mana ramp. So, I mean, if you're, putting 3 treasures out in the battlefield every turn, I mean, are you really losing? I mean, is it really that bad? But there are plenty of things to do. So keep in mind, there's plenty of stuff like this for Obeka, and she's going to really brutalize the commander format. So keep those counter spells and removal spells ready because she has got to stay off the field. Until next time, be kind, guys, and I hope to see you across from the game table. Man, about time she's worth something. The last time she came out, I thought she was going to be the shit, and she ended up being a dud. But about fucking time. Hope it works this time. Just like they always say, I can fix her, right? Ugh.